Hello and welcome to my pre-order video. Usually I'll do a video every week on a Saturday. Sometimes I won't though, so it's a bit hit or miss. But specifically when there's anything up for pre-order for Warhammer 40,000, I'll try and do a video. That being said, it is the 2nd of September. Can't believe we're in September already. And you go on the web store today, on Games Workshop web store, and they're talking about the 30 years of Warhammer 40,000. We'll talk a little bit about the Veteran Sergeant in a moment. But to start off with, I'll just go to Forge World, because on a Friday, every Friday, they usually have something new up for pre-order. And this Friday, we've got the Thousand Suns. Specifically the Thousand Suns Legion Praetor, £25. That's your sort of going rate anyway for single resin miniatures, like character miniatures and things at Forge World. Looks pretty decent. You're able to get him first access at the Forge World Open Day, middle of August, a few weeks ago. Yeah, really nice looking model. If I had a Thousand Suns army, I would just get him straight away. Even if you don't have one, I still think he's an excellent looking stand-in for a Psyker, maybe. Yeah, lovely headpiece and just an excellent sculpt, especially with the cloak as well, and like big sleeves that he has. Sort of almost looks a bit like a wizard. But there we go. That's him. And then you can also get the Thousand Suns Legion Vanguard for £190. It looks like you get 5 Terminators. They're actually called the Sekhmet Terminator Cabal. Then you get the new Praetor. You get a Contemptor. You get 10. I think they're just not 10 plastic Mark IV armor Space Marines, so the Maximus armor, and that's it. So you're getting, you know, 17 models there for £190, but the Cabal are obviously all resin, so is the Praetor, and the Contemptor is the resin one too. I don't think it's the plastic one. And then finally, for £312, you're getting Magistus Amon with the character series model, with a lovely sort of base. So you get 2 sets of 10 plastic Mark IV Space Marines, which I'm assuming that's the other 5 and that's the other 5 there. It says that you get 70 resin components for the upgrade for the Kenetai Occult Blade Cabal. Then you get a lovely Castellax Achia or Achia Battle Automata, which is that one there. And then you get a Siren pattern Contemptor Dreadnought with an autocannon basically, and that sort of curved blade. I think there's a better picture of it here. Yeah, it's an excellent model. It's just a shame they didn't do it in that sort of candy red colour scheme as these guys basically, but yeah, so that's £312, but it does give you a nice force. Pretty much just gives you an army there, 1,000 Suns to get playing. So that's cool. So that was all the pre-orders this weekend for Forge World. Last weekend, I don't think I did a video, but I definitely put some pictures on Instagram of the Legio Custodes Quillen Terminator Squad, so you can get them now. You can't get the Firepike ones yet. I'm guessing that maybe that's next week, because they've released pretty much everything from the first access event now, except for the Omega Tank Destroyer, the Sicaran Omega Tank Destroyer, and the Orion dropship. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, if they put both of those up for pre-order next week, I'm really looking forward to it, because then obviously I can make a video on their rules, you know, and finally explain them all. I think they released a couple of bundles for them as well. So the Sisters of Silence Prosecutor Cadre with bolt pistols. You can get them with the Charon tank transport. And you can also get the 6 Aquilon Terminators with the Coronis for £208, which is the same as if you got them all separate, so no saving there. So I just thought I'd mention Forge World. Let's go back to Games Workshop. So 30 years of Warhammer 40,000, and what they've done is, for better or for worse, they've decided to release a miniature to celebrate this. When I first saw it, I thought it was just a normal Primaris Marine, and I still sort of think that. I genuinely believe that it is a one-off. I don't think that they're trying to set a precedent of selling one plastic sort of normal Space Marine for us for £20 and see if how many people will buy that. I think it's not reflective whatsoever of the range or of the customers or whatever. I don't at all. I think it's a one-off, but similar to, you know, like your Captain and things like that. The only thing is that I was very concerned about is there's not a huge discernible difference between this and, say, one of the veteran sergeants in the Dark Imperium set, or, you know, things like that. So let's have a look what they've got. So we'll just click on this, and here we go. So they've got a few sort of I don't want to use the word deals, but they've got a few sort of detachments and things going on. So you've got the Veteran Sergeant model, which is £20. At least it's not £22.50 or £25 or anything like that, but it's still a plastic monopose miniature. You've also got the Hellblasters, the Intercessors and the Reavers all as combat squads, which in my opinion, I wish GW had released those first as combat squads and shortly after the Dark Imperium set. That would have been my preference, but still, they've done it this way round. So if anything, it makes look like your £35 10-man box sets are giving you more value, because all these combat squad sets is just 5 of the said Primaris Marines, which constitute 2 sprues each, because the 10-man sets have 4 sprues each. I suppose, yeah, they're a good little way of bumping up your force a bit, but if you've got plans of having more than 5, then yeah, I'd definitely suggest you get a box of 10 instead. The only thing you're saving on here is £15 if you don't plan on getting any in the future. They're not that posable, in my opinion. If you've seen all my reviews, I've got reviews out for the Reavers, the Intercessors, and the Hellblaster review is coming out next week, Wednesday. Sorry for the delay on that, but as you can gather, I've been building and all kinds of things like a madman some of the Forge World releases that I got, and making a lot of videos recently. So thank you for your patience. That review will be out Wednesday. And then there are going to be some Primaris related videos still over the next few weeks, and I will be covering all the Death Guard stuff. Probably won't be buying it, but I'll definitely be doing videos sort of similar to this and having a look at them. What else can you get? You can get the Patrol Detachment, which just looks like it's 5 Hellblasters and 5 Intercessors and the Captain for £62.50. So for 11 Space Marines, £62.50. Crikey. And then this week's pre-orders, £80 for all 3. So you're getting 15 Space Marines there for £80. So almost £100 for 15 Space Marines. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see when it's going to be sort of £10 each model. It'd be really interesting when that happens. But just before I go, let's have a look at this Veteran Sergeant up for pre-order. So that's good news if you want to get him. He's still up for pre-order. They still obviously have plenty of stock. I didn't realise that he comes with a helmetless option. It doesn't look like there's a change to the weapon at all. It just looks like it's a Stalker bolt rifle. I don't know how customizable that is. Let's have a little look. So 13 pieces, still a fair number of pieces though, and it comes with a sword that's sheathed. Possibly you could have him as a captain then with the power sword. Maybe this is where the power sword has gone to, because there isn't one in the I know I hark on about it, but it's a decent point. In the Intercessor army list, there's no, in the box set there's no power sword, but there is a power sword option for the sergeant in the army list, in the codex. So I don't know, I'm not 100% sure on this model at all. Even when I get it in my hands, I know that it's just going to be a Primaris Space Marine. The only sort of difference really is the purity seal, which there are plenty of long purity seals on dreadnoughts. The helmet and the bolt rifle are the same as usual. The Crux Terminatus, you get a similar sort of shoulder pauldron in the Intercessor set. That purity seal is nothing new, neither is the pistol holster, and the sort of gladius type sword is, yeah, it's small, it's not a full-blown sword, it is sort of like a gladius. You can get those in other box sets too, so it just looks like a culmination of a load of box sets rather than them producing anything new. Nothing like the Imperial Space Marine that was released last year, which was to celebrate the Space Marines anniversary. There's so many anniversaries and things going on, it's difficult to keep up to date, but I'll tell you now, this model here is for Warhammer 40,000 30th anniversary. The Captain that I've recently just unboxed and reviewed, that's for my own Games Workshop store's anniversary, and you can get, you know, that anniversary model at your own store's anniversary. Last year the Imperial Space Marine, you know, the left-handed one, like the original Beaky type one, he was the anniversary for Space Marines, and then on top of that you're getting this model, which is the anniversary for Warhammer 40,000. Now, I know it's Imperial, I know it's Space Marines, I know they've just made a Space Marine to celebrate Warhammer 40,000, but to be fair to them, Space Marines are their biggest seller. You look at the range and you look at how many models, and then you go into Forge World and you look at how many Imperial models and how many Space Marine models there are. It's mind-boggling. As big as my army is, I still haven't got one model of every unit that they make. Still. So that just gives you an idea of how huge the range is just for Imperial or just for Space Marines. So I understand why they went for the Space Marine sort of route as the poster boy for the you know, Warhammer 40,000 anniversary, but I don't know about it being Primaris. I really don't. They have produced some absolutely stunning single plastic miniatures before, with captains, like the two captains that were released a couple of years ago. One had a power fist and one had a plasma pistol. They've released another model that was on the front of one of the codexes in metal. I think that was quite a few years ago. And yeah, recently the captain that they released, not another good looking model. I would have much preferred that they would have released that Chaplain in Terminator armor that you could only get at the Games Workshop HQ for a certain time. I think having that available to everybody, because they've got the molds and things for that, because it's plastic miniature, I would have preferred they released that rather than this. With this, it's showing that this is the direction for Warhammer 40,000. Even though that's not their intention, that's the message that a lot of people, I think, will get from it. That this is Warhammer 40,000, this is where we're going. We're going for bigger units, more money, less models, and less posability. And for me as a builder, more than a painter, that's just odd for me. But that's what they've chosen to do with this miniature, and 30-year anniversary is huge. I mean, the next big milestone in 10 years. Imagine where we're going to be in 10 years. I can only imagine what model they'll release for that. But I feel that they, in my opinion, they should have stuck to their roots with either the normal Space Marine or put the Chaplain on there or something like that, rather than just a Primaris veteran. But hey, you know, I'm still getting him. I'm not getting him because I disagree with my own reasons. I'm getting him because I want to sort of share him with the channel more than add him to the force, or because he's an excellent model. My main reason for getting him will be that. And I'll obviously, hopefully, get him next Saturday, do an unboxing and review and things like that, and get your thoughts and opinions. But it'd be interesting for the few of you that really do like this model to put your comments down below. You know, share your opinions and things on it. Anyway, on to the rest of the video. So they're the pre-orders. The new releases, I'll just touch on the new releases because I didn't make a video last weekend about them. Last weekend, if I can remember, I think it was the Age of Sigmar new releases. So that consisted of this Blight War box set. So we'll have a little look at that. So it's £95, so in similar sort of vein as Dark Imperium. I mean, you get a load of these Vanguards and Vanguard Hunters. Some of these models look really nice. It's just a shame I'm not that into Age of Sigmar, and I really like this model. He wouldn't look out of place in your Death Guard army, in your Nurgle army, you know. I can see him sort of fitting in. I love this sort of carrot and stick sort of method. So he's got this little thing to eat that he wants to eat, and that sort of encourages him to, you know. And then he's got these chains and things. So I don't know whether he's sort of ploughing as well. Maybe this is how they sort of, you know, plough the land. But there we go. Yeah, lovely looking model. Well, not lovely, but yeah, you get what I mean. Yeah, so I think they released that last weekend as a set. So moving forward, big weekend next weekend, the September the 9th, according to my White Dwarf. You've got Mortarion. He is going to be £85, which I found out is £5 more than Magnus. So I don't know if that is going to affect your decision. If I go on community, there might be a picture of him on here somewhere. Here we go. Probably be a picture of him here. Yeah, there is. Right, so Mortarion, for better or for worse, whatever you think of that paint scheme and things, he'll be available next weekend to pre-order on the 9th of September, £85. And then the 3 web store exclusive Plague Marines, which I sort of explained in the White Dwarf 2. You know, they're £25 for 3, but I think they do come with some. They're exclusive to the web store, and I think they do come with some art cards and things like that. But unfortunately, White Dwarf, it didn't show any of those. So both of those sets are definitely coming out. Are definitely coming up for pre-order next weekend, along with the Codex. £25 for the hardback Codex. It's a 104-page book, so that's great. Apparently, there's 33 data sheets in it for all of the units. Really looking forward to that. I mean, I would love to get all of the new releases, but for Death Guard, but I got all the Primaris releases instead. So maybe I'll be able to get some Death Guard at some point. And that is the end of my video. That's everything I wanted to talk about. So put it in the comments below. What are you most looking forward to in the next sort of month or two? Are you going to get the Death Guard? I think they look fantastic. Really great looking army, if done right. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.